From the Bungalow Studio in Nashville, Tennessee, this is the Model Connection podcast, sponsored by Harrell Photography. I am your host, Eric Harrell.
And I'm your host, Kat Westaway.
If you like what we are doing and want to help promote this podcast, please hit like, follow, and subscribe here on YouTube and email me at harrellphoto@yahoo.com to learn how you can be a sponsor and help this podcast grow. Hello, Kat. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. So what have you been up to since our last episode?
You know, you have a friend's house that always is like right on point with style, and then, but also they have a really comfy couch, and you love to get over there and talk and chit chat, and we want this to feel like someone's like stylish living room. So I thought, why not make it, both masculine and feminine and colorful and black and white and really inviting.
I have told earlier I think it was our first podcast, that I have a new look, a new venue.
It's true.
A new style. Now we have it.
We've got it. Yes.
Wow. I mean, I love this. I really, really do. Thank you for dressing the setup. I don't deserve it.
Of course you do.
Me, I've been going in different directions. Since this podcast has been dormant for so long, I wanted to try and get our fan base back up. Working with our social media manager, Lisa Pyatt, I've been working on getting Facebook posts, Instagram posts, telling about our rebranding, rebuilding the podcast, trying to build up our podcast guest pool. Also trying to come up with interesting topics. I've got some topics that I'm working on, guests also that I'm working on. I just need a few dominoes to fall in the right order to get everything to really click. And I'm sure when they do that, everything will be exciting, very interesting, and I'm not sure we will be able to keep up.
Yeah.
But we're going to try.
Yes. But
now I'm hearing by the grapevine that you have an interesting topic for tonight.
I do.
So let me in on it.
Okay. So tonight, I wanted to talk a little bit about model scams.
Oh, wow.
Yes. If you're trying to be a model, you'll see scams, you'll get scams. One of the reasons why I really wanted to join this podcast is because it's actual good factual information, and there's not a lot out there. I've tried to do a lot of searching to find great information on the internet, and almost always it's like how we can make you a famous model, how to get an agency to book you, how to get an agent, come to this casting call, it's only $500, and so you get, even when you're trying to find something legit, the scams come in. So this is the scammiest business, and I want to.
Yes.
But there are a lot of good people in it too. But I haven't had any in-person scams, but I will show something that came in through my inbox recently.
I think we all can relate to having model scams in our past, whether we admit it or not. Mm-hmm. It's bound to happen sooner or later, whether you're just getting started or whether you've been in business a while. Dare I say, it's kind of like a telemarketer. They come up with interesting ways to grab your attention.
Mm-hmm. Except for this telemarketer is going to take all your money, not just your credit card number. Right. They're gonna take your image, and they're gonna yes. But it's so common. It's pretty much as common as getting a telemarketing call once you start seeking the path to become a model.
Basically. Yes, it is.
And what upsets me is that there's a lot of earnest people that just want to be a part of the modeling world, and they just get bamboozled left and right. So,
exactly right.
I wanted to go into some of the common things, and there are, because scammers aren't that smart, right? They're not that smart. That's why they're scammers. So they have some of the same patterns. So we can kind of look into that.
Okay, great. Okay.
So
modeling scams. 101, modeling scams. Okay.
Scams through your inbox. So you give, you find some website and they say, you give your email for some reason or another, or we'll talk later about how they also get your email.
Okay.
So one of the things, the guiding principle is you should never have to pay to be a model. You should
Okay.
never have to pay. The only thing is your entry. So you don't pay to become an agent. You don't pay to go to an agency. You don't pay at a casting call. But your original set of photos before you're at an agency or to get to the agency, yes, you would pay for that.
Yes.
And
yes.
sometimes an agency will put your portfolio together once they take you on. But I think more often these days you have to find that through TFP on your own.
Right.
But that's really, you should not be paying to get into an agency or to be posted on their board or whatever. That's just not, it's not a principled way to do it.
Are agencies different from, as I've heard, a modeling school?
Yes, that's a great point.
Tell me the difference.
A modeling school is, I think they're on the border of scams sometimes because they will just, anyone who comes, they're going to teach them and they're going to sell them that everyone can be, a top model. They're giving them this, they're selling them the dream, and they are teaching them, some principles of modeling, but they're also kind of overcharging a bit, and they often herd you into the idea of like, you need to get some pictures and we have the photographer, and this photographer just, by the way, charges double the market rate, but he's the best, right? So they start selling you these up prices and stuff like that. And they, even if you are not showing promise as a model, they will just keep taking your money.
Right. They give you their list of preferred photographers that knows the style they want. You are at liberty to go to whoever you want to, but if you take those images back to the modeling school, they must say, well, so-and-so did not do these, I can tell, because it's not his style. We don't like them. You have to redo them.
Yes.
So what money you've already paid a photographer, just throw it away. You're going to have to pay for them again.
Right. And this actually happened to me. I had 2 offers when I started, and one agency was like, you need to, I had come in with a comp card made and with the strongest photographer that I could find in Knoxville. And I knew the images were varied and they were good quality and they were solid. And I said, my pictures are strong. I don't need to do a photographer. And then they're like, you need to just take classes. I was like, I'm not taking classes. And then they kept offering me little other things, but they're like, you need to use our photographer. And I'm like, no, this guy is one of the best in Knoxville. I don't need to use your photographer. And they came back at me and that they wanted me to pay to be on their board. I'm like, I'm not paying to be on your board, So they kept dropping things away as I was like, all right, but you have to be in a strong negotiating position too, because then I knew I had another offer at least, but they were very much saying, his pictures aren't good. He's one of the best, in Knoxville. Like, he really is strong. And and I was just looking them in the eye going, that's not true. But they're oh, you need to take these classes, and they kind of get, especially parents who want their kids to be models, they take their money.
Right.
And they know this child's never going to get work. This child doesn't have the temperament for a set or whatever, but they're taking that money anyways. And they're definitely using their photographer. Yeah. That
does make you think that the model school and the photographer, they are in close cahoots with one another. Maybe the photographer gives a commission back to the agency for every model that they send his way or her way.
That, or they're on staff, but you're still paying them separately.
Yes, yes.
And we'll talk more about casting calls too, but they okay, here we go. Okay. Sorry, getting back to it. Okay, so here is an email I got very early in, maybe 2 months into my career.
Okay.
So they're telling me, they want to use me for champions athletic wear.
Athletic, yes.
It's the longest email. First of all, that's not how it comes. Like, you get a couple lines from your agent, or and the brand isn't necessarily reaching out to you themselves. And like they said, ensure payment for your wardrobe. So they're going to pay me for the wardrobe, which is true. A fitting fee is normal, or can be normal. And then you will, they're starting to say you will not be responsible. When you start seeing this right here, look at these funds right here. You will not be responsible for the funds. They'll be mailed in advance and all in one check. Okay, I hope this is clear. So they're gonna say that they're like mailing you all this money, or they're mailing you this check, but you just got to like send them $500 right now, or it's
Right.
So the talent received. Okay, certified payment. First of all, this is me. Almost no experience. I'm not getting $1,000 for additional. Oh wow, $4,000 for your wardrobe customization, shipping. Stylist will help you create the most suitable catalog. It's not models. We don't get a choice. It's not for us to decide it's most suitable. Like Champion decides that, right?
Right.
So I started getting real suspicious when they were being overly nice to the model. I'm like, no, this is not how things go for us. And yeah, so as soon as you receive the check and deduct this, and your booking fee, the rest are for your customization. I mean, why are they giving me money? The brand is giving the clothes. I mean, it's just so confusing. And we will let you know how to make the payment to the we don't pay stylists. We don't pay anybody. We're just the model coming on set. So
Okay, now is this geared more for the newbie models
yes.
or the models that have been in it for a while?
I think newbie, because they actually said they referenced that Facebook page I was on and that they, liked my look. So that's what made me think that they were legit, that they had like, first of all, you're like, oh, cool. They chose me. They like my look.
Right.
And they were fishing around on Facebook pages. And so I was like, okay, well, they have looked at my actual picture. So let's
Okay.
give them some credit.
Okay.
And then, but I sent it to Brody and I was like, is this a scam? And he's like, stop, don't, it's a scam. Don't go any further. Don't do any other thing. And we should have a Brody moment every show. He's so wonderful.
Right. And
Yeah.
this is something that a newbie model would not know, would not understand. Like, I'm going to get money for doing this, money for doing that. Hey, yes, I'm going to be a model. Yes. Sign the check. I'm there. Yes. Let's
Yes.
get started.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden that $500 is gone.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never hear from them again.
No. So, yeah. So this is basically, like I said, what really made me kind of suspicious is that they were offering so much to the model. Basically, they're going to say, this is your rate. This is the time and place you show up. We don't have any say in a stylist, and it's certainly that kind of money is like, I don't even know who makes like no one I know makes like $3,000 or $4,000 for a photo shoot at this point. So
Right. Okay.
Oh, look at all of these extras that they're going to give me. All copies of the photo shoot via, okay. Oh, we can keep the accessories and wardrobe. That sounds that's real. That is crazy. A talent coach will be made available on location upon request. Everything. What
they're
more do you want?
putting the butter on the biscuit, aren't they?
Just like what? Okay. The pay to play fashion shows. So
Okay.
this is actually someone asked me to be in a show and I was like, cool. But then they're like, well, you have to sell tickets. You have to sell a certain amount of tickets. So what happens here is that the models actually are doing a show that doesn't have legitimacy. It's basically just a show that you're paying to be in. Again,
Okay.
the principle is you shouldn't have to pay to be a model.
Right.
The exploitation of the models is, that they have to sell these tickets, and that they aren't even getting anything really out of the show because it's not a legitimate show. They're just making the money off the tickets that the models are required to sell. And sometimes you can't get in the show if you haven't sold enough. It's a damage to your reputation because you don't even want to put this on any of your profiles or your CVs or anything because people in the business understand that these are pay to play and they don't make, and if anything, it will take away from your reputation. So
Wow. Okay.
modeling agency scams. Okay. So have you worked with, have you worked with models out of agencies?
I was a staff photographer for a model agency and a model scout for about 20 years.
Okay.
So I kind of know a little bit back then. I don't
Yeah.
know what has changed since I've left, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead and get started. And I'll tell you what I remember.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But you scouted models?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So how did you see them out and about, or?
That is a great area. This goes back to another modeling scam called cold calls.
Okay.
If someone is being approached by a supposedly model scout, how do you know they are actually a model scout?
Right.
Back in the day, I carried tons of business cards. I carried my portfolio book whenever I could. I had some images on my cell phone. I made sure that everything that I presented to a lady was 100% legit.
Yes.
They could check me out on Google, check me out on my website, call the phone number on the business card. Everything was on the up and up.
Yeah.
Now, how did I find them? You find them in some of the weirdest places, grocery stores, checkout counters, malls,
Yeah.
ball games. They're not going to come to you,
Right.
because they don't know what you're doing. They don't know you from Adam's apple.
Yeah.
So you've got to find them.
Yeah.
So that's where the cold call comes in at.
Okay.
And you've got to be relaxed, be convincing that you are who you say you are, and have bona fide proof you are who you say you are.
Right.
And I always say, please go home, check everything I've told you. Here's my card. Call the number, verify that I work with this agency, Google the agency. Just do your homework.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plain and simple, do your homework.
And that's really, I'm sure, reassuring for them to hear, because one thing scammers will do will be like, this is it. Like, this is your chance. You know, you have to make this decision right now. You have to sign this contract right now. You have to pay this fee right now. And it's like, no, legitimate things. You have at least 3 days to review any business contract. And the fact that you're tying everything back to an agency is really important too.
And many scammers, they want you to make a decision before sundown or at the next hour or so. I need to know something today so we can get your portfolio started, get this started, get that started.
Yeah.
I need to know something today because I'm leaving town
Yeah.
tomorrow. I won't be in town. So yada, yada, yada. Let's get this done ASAP, you know.
Right.
Don't ever feel rushed. Okay.
Right. And that's actually the same tactic that like kidnappers use. Like, you know, if people are trying to get relatives or back from the Mexican cartel, like they are like high pressure, you know, now we need the decision now, you know, and they're actually putting, I guess, legitimate pressure. But the idea is that they want to keep you on the clock, feeling like you're under pressure.
Exactly right. Now, with that being said, it's time for a little shameless promo here. You are watching the Model Connection podcast from the Bungalow Studio in Nashville, Tennessee, sponsored by Herald Photography. Herald Photography is a model photography-based service, a former Nashville-based model agency staff photographer and model scout from 2002 to 2022. If you're interested in modeling but don't know how to get started, or a present model looking to add to your portfolio, contact me at haroldphoto@yahoo.com. Now,
Yes.
as you were saying before I interrupted you with my promo.
No. Okay, so some, like I was saying, the agency that I was talking to, the last thing they were trying to get out of me was a payment to be listed on their site, and I just could not do it. I mean, it's against my principle, because they should be welcoming you and then making sure you are competitive enough, developing you too, which we can get into that, but enough that they are going to get paid, right?
Right.
So you shouldn't be paying them. They should be helping you along enough that you can earn money and they get their kickback, which is very fair. I'm happy to give my 10% because they do so much for you.
Right. The only one that you should ever pay will be your photographer.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. And even just that, just on your way in, just to get in. I think
Yes.
you should do TFP after that, or the agency should take care of it.
I feel everyone should pay their dues. Models and photographers.
Yeah,
You've got to learn your craft.
for sure.
You should do TFP for a while until you are comfortable. Okay, now I'm speaking as a model now.
Okay.
So please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You should do TFP until you feel comfortable in posing yourself. You should do TFP until you can go from one pose to another almost instantly. You should do TFP until you are knowledgeable on how you look to the best, okay? Some people say, I've got a bad side. I don't want you to photograph me on that side. I want you to photograph me from this side.
You don't
Some
have that
say
say on
yes,
set.
some don't.
Yeah.
But you've got to learn your craft first. And the same on the photography side. You've got to learn what you're doing, first of all. You've got to learn everything about your camera, learn everything about lighting, composition, concepts.
Yeah.
You've got to help model whenever she needs it. As far as, I think you might look better if you a deeper shoulder this way, or if you tilt your head this way, something like that. Just kind of a mediocre changes. You've got to learn how to do this. So you need to do TFP also while you're learning.
Oh, yeah.
And then when you get comfortable that you can reel off these changes just that quick,
Yeah.
then you can start looking towards, well, if I can just charge enough to cover my gas here or cover my restaurant bill or hotel bill, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And then the more knowledgeable you get, then you can add to your base
That's
price.
true. Yes. Yep. And I'm thinking like, yeah, I should be advertising myself on Facebook groups, as
Right.
but I only think through my agency, but yeah, at TFP, we can get into that later, but I think it is so important. It is the college for models, I think.
Yes, it is. Yes,
And
it is.
you meet a lot of wonderful photographers, and you kind of meet your go-to photographer. I'm just really,
Yes.
I feel really lucky to have met only great guys, basically. And Brody's my number one. Like if something's come, I've come to him hours before I need something, drove really quickly to Nashville, and he totally helps me out. And also really fun to be with. But,
Oh, yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Okay. So the pay to be listed is one thing. And then we talked about they're requiring you to use their photographer.
Yes.
And that comes up again and again. You'll hear in scams. We talked about being forced to pay for classes. I think an agency should be, when you come in, they should be developing you as a model, helping you to learn posing, to learn a little bit about lighting, to learn a little bit about your best fresh face makeup. That I think the agency should be doing a little bit of that, but particularly helping you work on your walk. Anything you would do in a go-see, they should get you prepped for that. You know,
Right.
I'd like to see more of that happening in agencies. I think that's kind of gone by the wayside, but classes in some sense are legitimate, but when they are forcing you to get classes as a part of way for you to be a model, that's not really, legitimate.
I've had the opinion in the past that modeling schools, they bring you in, they charge you fee, will show you how to walk, show you how to pose, possibly show you how to talk.
Yeah.
They may set you up on a predetermined first photo shoot to get your ego up, get your confidence built up. And then after the shoot's done, it's like mama bird pushing baby bird out of the nest. You're on your own now.
Right.
Go fend for yourself.
Right. And if you get signed, and I think they kind of sell big dreams that we're going to get you signed. And the next thing we're going into is the guaranteed work. If someone is saying, oh, we're going to get you, you can be making $500,000 a year, or we can get you work, every week. I can tell you're going to be able to work, or, you're going to be a great face for Adidas. No agent legitimately can say that, because they can never they can never guarantee work because we don't know what the client wants. We can't see the future, right? So it depends on the client.
In modeling, please understand there are no guarantees, period.
Yes.
Period.
Yep.
No guarantees.
Right. Except for the agent's commission. That's a guarantee.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
But I say that is well earned. A couple of reasons I love agencies is just that I feel they're protected.
Right.
One time I did something, I told my agency, but it wasn't within their purview. It was like a student project, and I went outside of their protected area, and they tried not to pay me. And it was hard because they, I don't have like a lawyer on retainer to go get this money, so, but an agency, I mean, no one's going to, a lot of scammers are not putting their scams to agencies. I can tell you that, they're not going to try and run that through, an agency because the agents will see through it immediately. So you're protected.
I'm not putting any agents down, but I've talked to some independent models. Well, I don't want to give 10% or 15% to some guy when I'm doing the actual work. Mm-hmm. Yes or no? I mean, it's pros, cons.
I think that the agents do a lot of work. First of all, they make you represented. Do you know how many people want to be represented? Like that's
everybody.
Yeah. So it's, first of all, they give you legitimacy that, and they give like, I don't know, let's just say Lululemon is not going to go to an independent model's webpage, right? The most of the big companies, the companies you want to work for, are coming through an agency or someone shooting a film in the area. The first thing they do is dial up an agency. They don't have time to look up, a bunch of different models. They don't know where they are. And I think that agents also, they kind of act as like a guide for your career and a way to stay organized in your career and kind of help you keep your profile up to date. And they're constantly giving me opportunities. They can't guarantee that I'm going to get them, but they keep opportunities coming in front of you as a study scene. Our internal Facebook that no one sees, and then stuff that is listed on Actors Access and stuff like that.
Right. Okay.
So I think they really do. And 10%, that's well worth it.
How much influence, input does a photographer have over a client if they say, well, I know this model, she's new, but yet I think she's really what you're looking for. Let's don't go through the agency. I could probably save you a little bit of money by hiring her. Is that common, uncommon?
I don't know how common it is. So you're saying that you were, who's approaching you for this?
Okay. Let's say that the concept has been presented, but the photographer says, well, I can save you a little money by going with this model here that I know personally,
right,
rather than going through this agency.
Right.
Is that common, uncommon? What do you think?
I don't know how common it is. I think that you're taking a risk, right? The client's taking a little bit of a risk because maybe that
they're trusting that photographer 100% that he knows what.
Right. And maybe they only know that model in one type of shoot or on, she was having a couple of good days, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I think an agency kind of keeps tabs on, they're going to make sure that their models are trying to get work, and they're going to make sure that they're practiced, and they always tell us about these like acting classes that you can do, and they develop us, right? So there's a professionalism. Okay. That's another thing is we learn how to act on set, right? Yes. The etiquette is very important, but it's not written anywhere.
Right.
Right. So you show up on set and you know where holding is, you shouldn't just be on your phone and I'm watching the director. Like if he needs another body in the scene, I want to be in the scene, so,
right.
Being awake on set, even as like maybe the food table isn't even for you,
Right.
So just kind of staying engaged and knowing the directions, right? Because that client's going to have some directions for the model, and does she know, does she going to know what he means by, or feel okay to be like, do it with, more rage or, because I one time did an audition for 45 minutes and they kept naming emotions that I had to try and do the scene through.
Right.
But you try to be prepared for that, but you just can't, as a photographer, know if she's really going to be able to do all that on set.
Right. That falls into the category of unwritten rules, so every model should know.
Yes.
Don't do this, don't do that, do this, do that.
Yes. This is a future episode on the unwritten rules. Yes. Yeah. Because it is, I mean, even your agency isn't going to really give you these full booklet. Like, it's almost like you accumulate it yourself, but also from people on set and also from your fellow models and stuff like that. But it's very interesting. This is an industry which we're trying to do in this episode, where it's an industry where you learn a lot by mistakes. And
yes.
This episode is like, hopefully we can save some people some money and some mistakes, because this is also a very like solitary career. Is that cup the shape of a lens?
Yes, it is.
That's amazing. That's so cool.
What do you think it was? The camera lens?
That's the coolest design ever. That's perfect.
I had a very close friend of mine tell me or ask me, how do you keep your lenses clean? I say, well, just put them in the washer,
Really? Are you serious? I don't think you should do that.
In a very cup, yes, you put it in the washer.
Oh, okay. That's so cool. Where'd you get that?
Oh gosh, Facebook Marketplace.
Oh yeah.
That's
like, super cute.
You find anything you want on Facebook. Okay?
That's true. I know. So the other thing that you might get for scamming is they request intimate or nude photos, and like no agency, no client is going to upfront ask you for this kind of stuff.
No,
it's just not done. I've never seen it done. And it's warned a lot by your agents that this is not legitimate. And do not do it. And I also think, I feel like you, as a beginning model, feel like whatever is asked of you, you want to do 110%, or you don't want to miss any opportunity. But you do not want to put your image out there in a way you're not comfortable with.
I always tell models that talk with your photographer beforehand, agree on all the details.
Yeah.
And you stick to it, okay? During the shoot, a model is comfortable with what she's doing. A photographer has at times say, well, I think we could do better if you would just unbutton that one top button of your blouse, or take a little bit off of your shoulder.
Yeah.
A little bit here, a little bit there.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you're outside your comfort zone.
Yes.
And like you just got through saying, sometimes you get to a point of no return and you've already gone too far.
Well, because it's captured.
And once those images are out there, you're not getting them back, okay?
And you don't own them. Models rarely own their images.
So it is very vital important. You agree with your photographer on what you're going to be shooting during the shoot, what the concept is, what your outfit is, and you be sure that you are comfortable with what you are doing. And don't go beyond that.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Do not go beyond that. Don't go outside your comfort zone.
Yes. Yep. My problem is I have no modesty, so I don't care. But I do know that for me, it's a big difference between, an artistic picture where we're kind of using my body to go along with like the landscape or like an artistic look at it. And then there's much more where it's overtly the body is being shown just for the body. And that's where I'm less comfortable. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, you have to, even if you have like a wide modesty margin, you have to think about that. You have no control over these images. You don't know even really fully what they're going to look like. You may never see them.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Images that may be edited, maybe over edited.
Yeah.
You just have no control over them whatsoever.
Right.
Once you do that, I mean, you're basically at their mercy.
Right.
Plain and simple.
Right. And maybe someone hacks their computer, or so they pass it on to someone else that they trust, and whatever. It's like the genie is out of the bottle forever.
It sure is.
Especially now.
Sure is.
Okay, this is how they get aspiring models. Okay, so
Cold calls, as I was mentioning earlier. Yes.
Okay, so you got to sign it. Now, like you were saying, we're closing out this quarter. We need to have you sign, or the Christmas vacation is coming. We're not going to do it next year. You got to sign. Whatever. They're going to put some type of pressure on you, and anything legitimate. Honestly, you have a couple of days to think about any legitimate contract. Okay. This is another thing when you go to a casting call, an illegitimate one, is that, they want you to pay now, and they want you to, up front before you get any classes, what really bothers me is when they're like, we're going to get your comp card. We're going to make sure, we're going to get you work. You're going to be able to work in all these different cities. They're just promising something that you couldn't promise to Giselle. You really couldn't, because you don't know what the market's going to look like. You don't know what the clients are going to look like. And so they're just really selling these people who are really hopeful, a dream that they cannot follow through with.
Right.
And then the ultimate is asking for cash. When you're handing cash to a stranger, you just got to stop yourself.
Yeah.
You really should just stop and think. Yeah. That one's a red flag.
Okay. At some point, you've got to really stop and think, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. Mm-hmm. Why or how is this happening to me on this day? No, something just is not right.
Yes.
Right. Something's not right here. So
yes, and like that internal, listen to that quiet intuition that you have that sometimes gets, the logical part of the mind is like that, don't listen to that intuition. But really, if something feels off or weird, you need to think, or at least slow down and, take a second. And even if you're in a high pressure situation, just be like, I'm gonna run, and I gotta check in on something, and at least get out of the physical area so that you can have a chance to think. You should be able to ask anyone to say, oh, I have to just check in on my kids' daycare or something, whatever, just to get you away. And then once you're out of a physical space, you can have a little bit more headspace to think.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You've worked with a lot of up-and-coming models, just because you used to have an agency, right?
I worked with the agency for 20 years.
Yeah, so it would be good if newbies, if they can at least get some time with you, that's probably going to be helpful.
Yes.
Okay, so my model tip this week is to take another look at your photos. So one of the things you can do to kind of up your photos is now that there's AI, you can put it into your phone and you can do the erase cleanup.
Yes.
And look at everything I erased on this side, right?
Yes.
All this stuff that was taking away from the picture. Now I really stand out. This is my first shoot that got me into the agency. This is in Knoxville. My favorite restaurant is behind me.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think that's something wonderful that you can start looking in your old pictures and your current pictures is, what can I peel away that's not important? Like that blue thing's not important.
Right.
All that reflection in the person behind me and serving in the restaurant, not important.
Right.
So we have the same character here. You get the vibe, but you're focused on the pose.
Right. Yes.
And the clothes. Another way you can kind of reimagine your photos and put a new spin on some photos that you like. I always liked this photo. I was taken in the botanical garden maybe last fall, and but he did kind of an artsy wash to it, and it wasn't that helpful for my portfolio. But when I put it into black and white, it ended up being kind of a popular image that I noticed like people were drawn to. Who knows why? But reimagining your picture into different filters and stuff like that.
Okay, I've got one issue here.
Yes.
And for me, I'm seeing one thing wrong with it.
Yes.
I'm looking up your nose.
Oh no. Okay, I can see that. Oh my gosh.
I don't know why, but that was actually the first thing that caught my eye. I'm looking up your nose.
It's kind of crazy because you can look at your pictures and not see that, but I can see it now. We're going to make it go away. Yeah. I think that that's true. Like, it's almost really good to have someone, a photographer preferably, look at your portfolio before you put stuff out there, because your eye's going to go to different things than a model's eye. And I mean, a model should know a certain amount of things. Probably should have known that. But, you know, checking for your limbs to be in place, checking for, you know, lighting and stuff like that. But I always find that a photographer is going to find details that even you have missed.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I've shot so many images that I thought were great, and then after I went back over them third, fourth time, I'm like, oops, I didn't see that before. That's not right. I should have moved her. I should have tilted her head a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, okay, scratch that image off my list then.
I
Okay.
know. That's why you got to keep shooting too. You got to go to things like Birdie's. You got to keep getting more material because you will start to dust stuff away and get better stuff up to the top too.
Yes, you do. Yes,
and that's
you do.
also why I like to shoot long, because I want to have lots of options, you know, because if you haven't shot long enough and you can like get rid of some things aren't working. Well, we've gone to the upper pasture. I've got a new vibe. I got a new idea.
Right.
And then we went down to the rock area or whatever. Then you have more options to keep things that will be useful.
Right. Okay, yeah. Again, if I was there, tilt your head down just a little bit so I'm not looking up your nose. Besides that,
Well, yeah, and the angles.
I see nothing wrong with it, okay?
Okay, no, that's fine.
I see nothing that's wrong with it.
Okay, great. We're going to go back to that image. That's a much better image. Okay. Thanks for watching The Model Connection. I am Kat Westaway. You can reach me at Book the Catwalk. It's BOOK, the Catwalk with a K, KAT walk. And I'm on Instagram and I am on TikTok. Thanks.
And also, during the episode, your contact information will be running on the bottom of the screen.
Oh, awesome.
So people will also be able to see that as we are actually doing the podcast. Okay?
Yes. And I was just thinking about, thank you. I think that's awesome. I also think about having guests come on and as far as like they understand that when they come on, they will be able to throw to the camera and be like, you can find me here.
Yes.
This is
Always.
my handle. And you've always been good about making sure that people get promoted, get their contact info out there. So we would love to have you on the show if you can, you know, show us a slice of the 360 experience of modeling. Are you a hair and makeup person? Are you a photographer? Are you an agency director? We want to get through the whole world of what it is to be a model.
Yes. So was that your Kat's model tip of the week, or do you have one more saved up?
I think the tip of the week was to take another look at your photos. Well, I think you should always be working. When you're not shooting, you should be doing your CV, or you should be, you know, building a better a system for keeping your pictures organized, or taking another look at pictures you might have. Because the one that I used for my headshot, I found like a year after I was using something else, and it was from the same shoot, and then I was like, this is much better. And so just take another look is the tip.
Okay, great. Okay, next, Kat, let me into your mind a little bit. What do you have cooking for future episodes?
Okay. Well, I have reached out to some agencies in Nashville. So I'm just kind of wanting to speak to the directors and seeing if they have some models that they think would be great for the show. Or I think most modeling agencies have an internal page, so it would be like a bullet, you know, on their internal page to, you know, get in touch with us, see if they're a good fit.
Yes.
And like we said, we want to hear from all types of models and all slices of the modeling world. So, and making sure that your information will also exist forever in our show notes.
Yes.
You know, and once you have an episode, you can link that to your website. You can link clips, you know, keep running clips on your socials. It's a great promotion tool for you, and it makes you look good.
It really does. It really does. I mean, I've had so many guests in the past that are just blown away by the quality that we produce, by the images we produce. And they say, I've had so many people walk up to me and say, I saw you on YouTube. And I'm like, wow, I was so impressed by you. And,
That's
I would love to work with you. And
That's great.
And that's one reason why I want to continue to do this podcast is bring everybody together. I want to put new models out there so people can actually find you, okay? Because we don't know you even exist if you don't try.
Right.
You don't try.
And the reason why we put a lot into the set too. We want people to feel comfortable. We want it to feel like you're in a living room, because like these don't really exist. We're talking to each other, and it's very comfortable. And yeah, the quality is great. I mean, you have like a 5-person team for this podcast. You have a lot of professionals working on this podcast.
Yes.
So it's going to be a great quality piece for your CV if you are interested in coming on the show. And it's also a really great experience to just get heard. Let you express yourself, to do Q&A, that sort of thing, just to get used to speaking publicly.
Yes, it is. And like I said in our very first episode, this is a new venue, a new style, new vibe. I hope you like it. And with that being said, from the Bungalow Studio in Nashville, Tennessee, this has been the Model Connection Podcast with your host, Eric Harrell.
And Kat Westaway.
If you like what you are seeing on this podcast and want to help to promote this product, please hit like, follow, and subscribe here on YouTube. And please feel free to reach out to me at harrellphoto@yahoo.com to learn how you can be a sponsor and help this podcast grow. Thank you.
Yeah, this has been a great show.
Thank you, Kat. I mean, this has been awesome.
Yeah.
You have educated me so much about modeling scams, okay?
Okay.
I love it. All right.
I really do hope that this is going to save some people, because even collecting this information was hard to get it all harnessed together. So hopefully it'll be a good place where people can come to.
Yes,
and
it will be.
And when people are our guests, they get to hear back, feedback, like some comments, and people can reach out to you, and please leave a comment for us.
Yes.
Things you want to hear about. We want to
possible guests.
Yeah. Yes.
Topics, possible guests.
Right.
Let us know what you want to have us talk about. If you want to come on this podcast and talk about something that you feel is important to you, come on down. We'll put you on the air, okay?
Yep. And we want to be a resource. So what you think is useful, whatever you feel that, like you say, what is being swept under the rug.
Right.
What we want to open up more, we're here for it. So thanks for watching.
Thank you. Bye-bye.